man, you run into a lot of people from different areas, and that's what I like about the job. You're always meeting somebody, you're always seeing something out on the road. Just like the sightsee, I guess you could say. So,
I love problem solving. If I ever get it where there's no problems, then I'll probably be looking for something else to do.
This is not the kind of business that it's just you come in and you're doing the same thing every day.
You know, you got to be professional at all times. You got to be focused on everything that's going on around your truck.
Young Brothers was incorporated in the late 40s by my father-in-law and his brother. We've really got two main divisions here. A tank division, which is really primarily liquid fertilizer, and then flatbed we do a lot of steel coils. We're in a real good spot with the mills and then Detroit.
I've been driving for about 32 years. Yeah, my dad, he was a 35-year truck driver. Oh yeah, it's a family thing.
I've been around trucks since I was about 9, helping out my dad and stuff. I used to always talk about when I got out of high school, I'm gonna get my own truck and get out on the road.
You get dirty, hauling steel, you get your greasy coils, and hauling steel is a physical job. I mean, I get to work out whether I want it or not.
When I see something that's been broke or something like that, and it rolls out and rolls down the road, I can say, I did that. I made that truck back to where it can go down the road and make money. That's the most rewarding part for me.
My typical day just depends on the day. It might be dealing with insurance claims, it might be dealing with maintenance issues, what's being fixed, what do I need fixed, driver issues.
You've got to be able to multitask for one thing. You've got to be able to kind of roll with the punches and be flexible because things change all the time.
I was always around trucks because my dad always drove trucks when I was a kid. I played football on Friday nights, and on Saturday mornings my dad would get me in the truck. He'd be going to Chicago and we get out there on 94, he'd pull off the side of the road, he says, okay, go ahead and take over. And when I got out of high school in 1980, I worked in a factory for a little bit. I just didn't like it because I hate being confined. My passion was driving trucks, and that's where I'm at right now.
There's always going to be a need for diesel mechanics, and there's always room to advance. I mean, I started off just as a low-level mechanic, coming out of the military, and I've worked my way up now to be the lead mechanic here. So you can always have room to advance.
1986, graduated high school, went in the Army. 2001, I transferred from active Army to active Indiana National Guard. Up to that time, I'd always been a mechanic. To get into the active National Guard, I had to take a recruiting position. And when you go into recruiting, if you stay in it like I did for 8 years, you go through sales school, personnel, business management. That's where I got a lot of my computer skills, management skills.
Like my CDLs, I have a Class A. I can haul flatbed, but see, I don't have the certification for doubles. I mean, it's different courses. Like if you want to haul tankers, you have to have like an endorsement for that. Triples, you have to have endorsements for all that stuff, and hazmat. It just depends on where you want to go with your career.
A lot of what I do each day when I dispatch my tankers is I may have 6 to 10 different locations that they can go to, and then I got to look at the map and figure out how can I get them legally within their loggable hours to move freight and move as much as they can.
In the morning when you start your day, you want to make sure everything's right on your truck, like doing your pre-trip inspection. Make sure you're not having a leaking oil on the truck, a bad tire, anything like that. You never know what's going to happen when you leave this office or you leave home in the morning. Being safe, that's the main thing, man. I mean, you got to be in your mind 24/7 safe once you're in this truck.
I love problem solving. One day Leslie comes in and tells me that her and Rob were looking at our monthly expenditures and that spending in the shop was down a couple $1,000s a month. I did that. They tell everybody you got to find a job you love. Nobody's ever going to find a job that's everything you love. But if you can at least have a continual sense of accomplishment, even in small increments, it makes that job fun.
Being mechanics provided everything for me. I've got a nice family, 3 kids, a house, 2 cars. It's not glorious, you're not going to get great recognition, but it's a good, honest job and provides for your family very well.
A lot of younger guys ask me, says, how do you get into driving trucks? And I tell them right off the bat, so the main thing is you got to finish high school. I says, the main thing is you got to be drug-free and you got to have a passion for driving trucks.
Forget girls and cars and focus on studies. That was 18-year-old Ed Smith's biggest problem. But I really wished I'd have gotten at least a 2-year associate's out of the way into something. Most of the jobs I see in my level, they're asking for a 2 or 4 year degree. It don't really so much matter exactly what that degree is in this kind of a field. It's just that you've got business, personnel, logistics, something, you know, that falls in the business arena.
This is probably the best time you could ever hope to get into trucking from a driver's standpoint. There's a definite shortage of drivers in the industry right now.
I still got a passion for it, you know. There's not a day go by that I get up, I don't want to go work, you know. I get up, do my thing. 2 o'clock rolls around in the morning time, my neighbors all, they hear me when I leave, they says, I know you, he says, you're out of here by 2. I said, 2 o'clock, I gotta go.